Okay guys, this is going to be a track guide for Phoenix, A fixed, and we are going to be looking at the week of the 21st, so the 20th rather. And so what we're going to actually look at today, I did a practice session and we ran 122 laps. So we got plenty of data for this week, kind of learn about the track and everything. So first thing I'm going to do is just sort by time here. And we'll see the fastest lap I was able to run was the very last one I ran was lap 122, which was a 27.2. If we click over to that here real quick, we can see why that happened, and we've got a track temp of 98 degrees. Okay, so towards the end of these practice sessions, you're going to find the track temp has dropped quite a bit, and you're going to go faster. So whenever you're running an open practice, you do need to pay attention to that. If you're running in a fixed environment on just a regular test session where you're controlling all the variables, then that's probably not going to be as much of an issue. But in any kind of open practice, you always want to pay attention to that so you don't get, a false read on what you were able to do. Okay, so we're going to take a look at that lap first. We might as well just take it first. Let's just do one with maximum grip available to us here. So, all right, so just a real quick change over to cockpit view. I'll put my equipment description stuff down in the description on the video. I'm not going to repeat that every time I do one of these, but most important thing here, the steering ratio when I started was set at 10. When I ran that again today, I actually kind of liked it there, but I did set it to 12 just to give me a little bit more comfort when I was running these ones yesterday. Brake bias, I really didn't do much. I was moving it back a percentage point. The more grip the track had, I could move it back just a little bit. The hotter the track, I really didn't run it and move it back much at all. You really don't want to get loose on entry at this track. It just kills your time, and there's really no good reason to want to be getting loose on entry. So I didn't find it helped me very much to move it back. But obviously that's always kind of a personal thing. But in this case, I think if you're just getting new to the track, probably just leave it default. I wouldn't mess with it too much. Okay, let's watch this lap here. Stay right up on the wall so you get a big run for your, assume this is a Q lap, big run off of there. A lot of brake getting down into the corner. Get back to the throttle quick. Very similar to New Hampshire in that sense. You want to keep that momentum up in the center as much as you can. Same thing in this corner. You want to get loaded up. Diamond up a little bit. Don't try and hug that yellow line. It just binds the car up a bit loose. Up the corner as hard as you can. 7.2. So again, that's a best case scenario of grip. But I mean, a lot of what you're gonna basically do is the same no matter what the grip level is. You're just going to be a little bit slower, and you might have to be more ginger with the throttle if it's real hot and slick out, but the line is the same. None of that really changes. All right, so we'll go slow motion here. As you can see, as we enter on our out lap, it's just important, if you're going to try and run a fast qualifying lap, you've got to be up near the wall here. I know in years past, I feel like I kind of rode out on the wall a little bit further. And I notice with this tire and where we are with grip and everything right now, it seems like I don't tend to stay up there as long, and it usually helps me to get back onto the racing groove. I don't really know why, but it just seems like it's easier to get on throttle faster. So there's some more grip down there, so that's where you got to go. So as you can see, I was able to get down to the bottom here and just really get hard back onto the throttle. It's a little bit harder to do as the track heats up. So again, we're talking about a best case scenario here, but I'm just able to get on it, and once I can get on it, I stay on it the whole way out. You know, you may feel the back of the car moving around a little bit, but you can kind of just chase it if you need to, but it really isn't too bad at this grip level here. So all right, so let's look for the braking marker. So I'm wide open at 3, starting to get in the brake just before the 2 cone here. Now again, if the track is slicker and hotter, you may back that up a touch more, but it's not going to be a lot. I mean, you get it on the brake pretty late here, and we're just riding the brake all the way down in the corner. The key to this track has always been you got to be right on this yellow line. If you're up a half a lane or a quarter lane, it's just killing your speed. There's just no grip up there, and you need to be down there right on the bottom, and then back to the throttle as soon as you can. So you'll notice I don't spend a lot of time just rolling, no throttle, no brake. I'm on the brake, just getting the car balanced down to where I want it to be, and then as soon as I can get back to the gas, I'm right back on it. There's a lot of banking right in this part of the track, so it really does kind of pick up, and it lets you get to the throttle here. What I did notice a lot is as you're coming off the corner, it does start to kind of flatten out a bit. Now, again, with a lot of grip, I'm able to stay in it and just keep tracking out to the wall. You know, if I tried to just cut left here and get down, it's just going to break loose. It's going to snap on me. So in order to keep the throttle down, I'm having to track up to the wall. And you're really, I mean, my instinct and what I wanted to do was turn down the left. You know, I want to get down to the left, start making my run down into turn 3, but you'll notice if you're really carrying enough speed and you're really on it that you just can't do that. So just keep your foot in it and drive up to the wall. It's okay. It doesn't really cost you time to do that, and then you're going to be able to cut down here. And then obviously once we're off the corner, we're just wide open the whole way. Again, on hot track, you might be pedaling it a little bit more coming off that corner, and that's okay. Don't expect you're going to keep it flat to the floor on a 115 degree track. It's not going to happen, but you know, when you get under 100 degrees, you start being able to be a lot more in the throttle. So here we go. Okay. I mean, we cut the dog leg, obviously. I mean, in the race, you might want to run up there, I guess, for some reason. I've never found a good reason to do it. I always cut the dog leg if I can. It seems like free speed and time to me. But, you know, sometimes I see in practice guys running up there. I kind of tend to always cut it. So, all right, so through. All right, so we're going to come up on our second big braking zone here. All right, once again, we're still wide open at the 3 cone and at the 2 cone, and just past the 2 cone, we're going to start coming out of the throttle and getting on the brake here. This corner, well, let's just double check that here before yeah, I mean, just past it. So right about at it, though. I mean, when you're going in, you're basically going to be getting on the brake hard here. And the key to this corner is, I mean, I feel like the tendency is to underdrive it. Usually, you're usually going to hit the brake too early, and it kind of costs you some speed to do that. So you kind of want to get in there hard, and then commit. You know, you want to get pretty close, right on that yellow line as you're going in, but commit to letting the car slide up and not trying to kill all the speed and the momentum by trying to hug that yellow line. And it's kind of hard to do. Like, again, this is all training your brain, but you really want to tell yourself to do that, because it's really easy to get in a mode where you just start trying to hug that line, and it feels, faster in the car to do that. But what you're really doing is you're killing your exit, because right here you're wanting to get back to throttle, and you're going to want to be making that turn off. And if you're bound up with the wheel turned way hard, you just can't do it. It's going to spin, it's going to get loose, or it's going to start plowing to the wall, and you got to lift, and all that stuff kills your lap. So once again, you see I'm not all the way wide open here, so I'm still rolling that center, but you want to keep your momentum up on these flat tracks like this. So keep some foot on it as much as you can, and then you're going to come off the corner here. This is very similar to New Hampshire. Is like you want to be straight up off the corner. You want the wheel to be pretty straight when you start really hitting the gas, so that you can keep your foot in it the whole way. You see it get a little bit loose here, of course. That's just kind of bound to happen, but it's controllable loose. It wasn't really sideways. Hotter track, again, you might pedal a little more or wait a little bit longer, but we'll watch one of those laps too. And all the way down, and that's a 27.2 lap. All right, so let's take a look at just a little bit more standard of a lap here. Lap 73, we did a 381. To go to it. Okay, so on lap 73, and just taking a look, 106 track degree. So we're a little bit hotter, so we're going to have a little bit less grip than we did. So let's go ahead and watch this one. You're going to notice a lot of similarities here. So once again, out lap, we're going to drive up high, down off the wall, try and get back to that throttle as hard as we can here. Alright, as we go down the corner, let's see if our braking point changes at all. So quite a bit earlier this lap, which we can attribute somewhat maybe to me not having quite as many laps yet. I did 50, 60 more laps, and so maybe I could have pushed that braking point a little bit, but you'll feel that out. But between the right after the 3 marker on that one, still braking really hard though. You see a lot of brake input into there. Got a little bit more done early there. Maybe could have kept a little bit more speed going in, but here we go. Okay, once again, all right on the line, getting back to the throttle. Really loose off. That's what happens. The hotter it gets, the looser it gets there, so it gets harder and harder to pin that throttle. Same thing down here, letting it drift up in the center. Back to the throttle, try and get wide open. Okay. So it's the same lap, it's just slower because of your track temperature and everything. It probably should have been a little faster, honestly, but just kind of to give you more of an idea. And then let's just go with one that's early on a really hot track here. So on lap 8 we did a 5, and track temp was 115. So all right, once again, I'm going to come off the wall here. Harder to get on the throttle there, quite a bit harder, so everything just slows down. You gotta wait, you gotta be a little more patient. Harder to do everything that you want to do when the track's real hot. Again, I probably should have been a little faster here too. I think you could still run off probably in this weather better, but the line is similar. Everything's going to be very similar. Just part of the reason I'm showing you this because I did so many laps, and you just see that increase in track temperature and what it does to your car. So there we go. Cold track, a 27.2. Pretty happy with that. And hope you guys get something out of these. And sure, feel free to leave a comment or a question or anything in the on the comments down below, and I'll try and answer them. Thanks a lot.